Hello everyone, it's me, Richard here again with another rant. This time about cannabis, because I'm a consumer of it, a user of it on a daily basis. I'm 67, breaking the law every day. I'm not happy about that, and I want to explain why I take it. So, for reasons I don't want to go in right now, but I had an awful childhood. Really crippled me in a social sense, and emotionally, I was just emotionally disturbed all the way through university. And teenage years, just couldn't cope, never had a girlfriend, couldn't make friends anymore. And disasters after just weird life. And anyway, I now ended up on my own again after being with someone for 30 years. It was a very bad relationship for both of us, but it was better than nothing. Anyway, she died 5 years ago, so ever since I've been trying to get some weed and get stoned just to cope with life. I've been depressed most of my life, and I struggle with any kind of motivation, any interest in anything at all, literally anything. Which means that even daily kind of chores is a struggle for me because I've got no kind of compensation, no fun or enjoyment or pleasure, no one to be with, no one to share my life with. It's just so boring. And it's been like all my life really. I've been kind of that lone away, not by design, not by choice by any means, but just could not cope or didn't know how to. Didn't have the basic skills to get on in life with people. So that's the situation. I'm in an apartment. I'm renting. I'm in the process of buying a house. Thank God, so I can save some money at least and have more room. But actual meeting people, I still struggle. It'd be nice if I could go to a coffee shop, like a pub, a meeting place. I know people taking the same kind of drug situation, I suppose, will be there, and I can know they're there, and I know what it's like, know what to expect. There's a good chance I'll get to talk to someone. It's just not so difficult for me. If I go to a pub, don't know anyone at all. I try to elbow my way into a conversation or some group, which is virtually impossible, of course. So yeah. And as for the drug itself, it's I think it's utterly harmless, beneficial for me. I'll be dead without it. Seriously, I think I'll be climbing up the walls and jumping out the window. I could not cope with that. Could not face reality without something to keep me going. It's either that or whiskey. So yeah, it has to lighten my mood and actually to pass the time. I just sitting and getting stoned out of a tree and watching YouTube all day. It's just not much of a life. And the bottom line, I get bored with that. I watch music videos and have some music going on, that helps. But even that has its limitations. You can always have too much of a good thing. Just doing anything to excess. It all gets boring after a while. So yeah, but the whole thing's illegal in the UK. Even now, you can get CBD legally, but THC is what I need. It's still illegal. Doctors can't prescribe it. I tried. I asked. Can't be done. And for a long time, they couldn't even investigate it. It's just a crazy situation. A drug which is not addictive. There's no withdrawals in it at all, hardly. There's a mild one. It's very mild. You need to go to work. You can go to work or whatever. You won't notice, and you just go. It's not that difficult at all. But for a long time, it's just a blanket ban. As I say, doctors could not investigate it because they wouldn't was their career, their license. And it's a herb which often got drugs from before, different plants and so forth. Well known for producing drugs, beneficial ones of various kinds. They weren't allowed to investigate it. It's just a crazy situation. And as far as I know, there's been no reported deaths from anyone for thousands of years and millions of years worldwide. Nobody's died from it. You can overdose, of course you can. You can do anything you can take to excess. You know, you can get concentrates like oil, which is class A drug now. No reason why it should be, does no harm, but it is more potent, so you have to know what you're doing. But you know, my social life is illegal, and that really frigging sucks. I've looked at the actual evidence for, you know, why it's been made illegal, and I can't find any. The best I could find was took me 8 emails to get this information from the Home Office. It was about the Advisory Committee on the Misuse of Drugs, ACMD. They produced a paper. I also got a PDF copy of it. It outlined various issues of concern, but nothing major, as I can see. The only major item was a correlation between cannabis and schizophrenia, which may well be true, but I know someone who was schizophrenic, you know, officially diagnosed, and he took all kinds of drugs, including cocaine and heroin, I think. So I asked about cannabis, and he said it helped him to cover his voices in his head. So yeah, there could be a correlation between schizophrenia and cannabis, I'm not disputing that. But the cause is not that cannabis causes schizophrenia, it's because schizophrenia is helped by cannabis. My kind of mental malady, it helps me as well. It's often thought as medication by people. You listen to reggae music, as I do. You will often hear them sing about medication. I mean, Bob Marley did it himself. So, yeah, it's a crazy law, and it reminds me of the law that used to be against homosexuality. I'm not that way inclined myself, but I think it was finally repealed in 1960. I discovered that because I have an interest in military history, and part of that was Bletchley Park, you know, the Edinburgh traffic decoding station in we set the radio signals from the German Enigma machines, and Alan Turing was a mathematical genius who helped to decode the whole thing, helped to build, you know, design and build these forecursors to modern computers, which is churned through all the combinations and eventually found one within a reasonable time which helped to crack the codes. Anyway, later on in the 50s, he was discovered to be homosexual because one of his friends did something wrong and the police caught up with him. And Alan Turing was sentenced to have some hormone injections in the court. You know, the law said you can't be homosexual, you must be wrong. So he was sentenced to having hormone injections, which, you know, changed his whole character and how he thought and everything. He could not cope and he killed himself. So that law was just vile. It did great harm to people because the whole society was geared up to hate these people, you know, these sinners, you know, these vile people who did weird things, you know. Can't have that. And I felt much the same way with cannabis because, you know, I've done nothing wrong. I don't drive under the influence. I've done it once or twice, to be honest, but only very, very mild, and I've been very, very careful. But I normally avoid doing that because it's dangerous. It's a drug. In fact, the drink driving law needs to change as well. I think it's still that way. It should be a drug driving law because any potent drug can be dangerous if you drive a car or operate a machinery. And the entire drug law regime needs to be changed because in Portugal they've been very much more courageous there, and they realise that education is better than policing. Generally speaking, if you're going to invest some money in helping people to cope with the issues of life, then educate them. Don't try to force them into doing something or make them criminals themselves. And as for the supply as well, I thank God for the internet, because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to order anything online. And I discovered there are sites available to work. It took me £600 to find that, and things in the post not arriving. You know, it's very expensive, and I had no contacts, so there's no way I could meet people and score on the street as other people do, I'm sure. They're just much more streetwise than I am. So I had no confidence in doing that, so thank God I can get supplies online. But the issue is still made, where do these supplies come from? And which hands do they pass through? And where does the money get exchanged? Who gets the money in the end? You know, there's obviously going to be some high-level criminal gangs involved in importing stuff. No question about that. It's another source of income to them. Smuggling, whatever. Which I'm not at all happy about, of course. But, you know, I have a need to survive, I think. I've got a right to survive, and this helps me enormously. Nothing else does. I've been to my GP recently and now been doing some SSRI things, which are so far not maybe any worse, but it's too early to say whether they actually make a difference yet. But the reason I've done that is because I don't like smoking. So unfortunately, cannabis does involve typically smoking. Doesn't have to. You can eat it, you can drink it in cakes, whatever. But if you want a quick hit, then smoking is the way to go normally. It's just a sad fact of life. But I'm hoping to actually wean myself off of that if I can. I don't mean tobacco. I gave that ages ago. That's addictive. That's dangerous. True, that is nicotine. It's used as an insecticide. Probably kills bees actually. You know, it's extremely addictive. One of the most addictive known to mankind. In fact, the form of tobacco, one of the most dangerous. It is still legally sold. Legally sold. Yeah, you can buy tobacco in the shop if you're that much trouble, if you're old enough. It's really addictive and damaging, dangerous stuff. Alcohol is dangerous. It damages liver cells, kidney cells, heart cells, brain cells. And it's legal. And it's addictive, because alcoholics are addicted to alcohol. Another drug which is legal and dangerous. Cannabis is not dangerous, but it's illegal. It's a crazy, crazy situation. Especially given the fact that cannabis is beneficial, at least for me and many other people. They all say they like it. You know, it helps them to cope with life. You know, so there might appear to be, well, I suppose habitual takers. I have it every day. I need to. I just could not cope with that without it. It's dependency. I admit that. If I wasn't able to buy online, I'd be stuffed. Just screaming and screaming, getting ball stiff. No one to talk to, no one to phone, don't have any contacts. Hardly any. The only thing I've got is a Sunday, I'm going to do wargaming, that's it. That's it. That's my social life. And chatting online to people online, that's my social life. So, yeah, why is it illegal? You know, even Keir Starmer still supports the ban. He's so conservative, he really is. I don't like that guy. You know, it's not meant to be a political rant. The hope of actually changing the law is so thin. You know, this government is so stuck in the mud and old-fashioned and archaic in their thinking. I mean, even the USA is turning green now, in that sense, and Canada and other countries. They're all making consumption more or less legal. Obviously, some constraints. And personally, I advocate it being much like Netherlands. You're over 18. You know, like alcohol, you have to be licensed premises, and the suppliers have to be licensed. And there's quality controls. And the police, they take it seriously. You have to have a passport or some kind of ID to get in. To get in the shop, and you can't don't just buy. You have to get in. You need an ID to get in the place. So it's very well regulated, and because it's not illegal. If you do get any problems with drugs, then there's help at hand somewhere, you know. Because there's no concern about helping people. You don't no fear about getting, you know, collared by the police or for some reason. The whole ethos of stamping down on things you don't like is just so wrong. And it is typical Tory mindset. You know, get rid of people, get rid of things you don't like, stamp on them, squeezing them, starve them of funds. They're just so, I don't know what to call them. But there's another point of what happens to the society as a whole, because you take alcohol, it's banned in the States, can't remember what it's called now, but prohibition. In the 20s and 30s, not sure how long for, but that gave rise to criminal gangs. You know, the bootleggers. They imported alcohol from Canada and elsewhere, carried guns to guard the shipments and make sure they weren't stolen by their other gangs, you know, or to defend themselves if they're raided by the police. So, according to one security guard I spoke to at the Lincoln Monument, where the actual, I think it's the Constitution is written down, wherever that is, I can't remember. But according to him, the Second Amendment was about introducing guns for everybody. Every man and his dog have a gun now, just to combat the crime caused by the banning of alcohol. So that ban on a drug resulted in guns everywhere in the USA. So what will the ban on cannabis do? You know, it's bound to create criminal suppliers. It's inevitable. You know, I don't want that to happen. I want the law to be changed. So it's all regulated and properly managed, and we're being adult about these things rather than being treated like children. It's so annoying. And this is a human rights issue. My rights to have a social life are now being squashed. Not just by the law, but by the media and all the people who follow these things blindly, don't think about it, don't know about it. They will attack me or hostile towards me if they knew. I dare not speak about this because I'm probably, well, I'm not so concerned now, but I might well get hostile reaction. Yeah, it's a strange world. So for the record, I'm not actually advocating that you take cannabis. That's, you know, if you're old enough and you want to try it, then fine, but, you know, be mindful of what you're doing, know what you're actually ingesting. Do some research, you have a good idea what it does to you. But I'm saying that the law should change. Yeah, I am saying that. The law should definitely. It's not only a regulation, but there should be no outright blanket ban. That is just vile, that is evil, that is nasty. Especially for me. So thank you, and please comment down below. I want feedback, and spread the message, please. I think this one is important. It could do with spreading via social media. And yeah, please like if you like the video, and subscribe and say hello or something. Bye.